everything.
Sorry?
It's randomly in action.
Sorry, it's randomly an
What is
action.
randomly? It's randomly
Okay, I mean, I would
agents.
say randomly just means it's not planned. No one decided it. It just happened.
It just happened. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
yeah.
how come every human being has a nose next to his mouth? This
Yeah,
can't be
but-
randomly.
But you must have studied a little bit of
What did he say?
evolution, surely. But my
What did he
friend,
say?
I could,
There's too many crackhead here, man. I'm beginning.
Hey,
Too many
yeah.
crazy people.
but
This kid.
you must have studied. You must know a little bit about evolution. Just
No,
a
before we go to
general
evolution.
idea.
No,
But
bro, before we go to evolution, you made a claim.
Yeah.
What? You know what is here? As one of our teachers mentioned, you always scientists or militant atheist scientists always they mention a big words to confuse the layman. He said he believed we evolved random. So I said it can't be random without a plan. The fact that every human being in front of me has a nose next to his mouth, that is fact what? It's been programmed.
oh, but come on! You have to. Surely you know this argument. It wasn't just completely random. There's a natural selection.
Natural selection.
Yeah. You
So
must
what is
know
selection?
this. Right.
Define selection.
Selection is just
Selection
some
is
animals.
planning.
Listen, some animals live, some animals
No,
die.
please. Look. Darwinian evolution. Look. This guy, he always attack me. I'm debating the non-Muslims. He came to a Muslim, he sided against the non-Muslims against me. This guy, what was his name? Go Live Media. He said, I'm not a Muslim. I'm debating with a non-Muslim, trying to defend Islam and call him to Islam, and he's against me. Anyway, you are talking about Darwinian evolution,
Yeah.
which there is no proof for it whatsoever. Just assumption. I'm not talking about the Darwin evolution. Move that aside. I'm talking as a human being.
Yes.
Let us utilize our intellect.
Yes.
You made a claim. When I put your claim in the scale and try to analyze it, you claim failed. You said it's random. The fact that we have all of us, we have a nose next to our mouth, bro, it cannot be random. Then he said, no, it's natural selection.
You can't just announce that you've won the argument.
It's not about winning. It's not about winning.
I know, but you can't say that. Here's the point. Why are we all the same? Is that what you're trying to say?
Again?
Are you trying to say why are humans kind of all the same? We've all
Well, I'm
got
saying,
noses and mouths.
any human being with a small amount of
Yes.
intellect, based upon observation, clearly you know there is a creator who possesses knowledge, who possesses a will, who possesses intent, and a wisdom that creates us. The fact that we can, Allah mentioned the Quran, what's your name, sorry?
It's Andy.
Andy.
Andy, yeah.
Andy, nice to meet you. My name's Shamsi. Okay, Andy. The fact that we can see Allah mentioned the Quran that within yourselves and within the heavens and the earth, there is a science for people's understanding. Meaning that when you reflect upon the creation of the heavens and the earth, when you see how everything's organized and connected, you come to a conclusion without any doubt, must be there is a creator behind
My
it.
friend, but you don't. I mean, I've looked at it. Muslims believe that because they believe that to begin with.
Muslims, what about Christians?
Maybe some Christians, I
No,
don't
the Christians
know.
believe that.
But people,
The Jews believe that.
there's lots of people
The Sikh
that
believe
look
that.
at the world and they don't see what you see in it.
So
They
you got-
think that people evolved through random mutation. That's what people believe.
No, bro.
You can't say that it's obvious.
Bro.
Because if it was obvious, everyone would
For
agree.
the sake of argument, because I see you escaping.
I'm not
No
escaping.
problem.
I'm going to the
What-
heart of
what-
it.
you know,
can't just say,
you know.
I look at the world
Look,
and I know there's a God.
Darwin,
That's not a
Darwin
good
himself,
argument.
Darwin himself stated that me bringing evolution doesn't not resolve the problem how this universe came into existence.
That's true, yeah. But
So you're not going to the heart of the problem. You try to say because there's Darwin evolution. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking when you look to the universe, it must have a creator.
again, I think lots of people look to the universe and it doesn't have to have an intelligent
Is
creator
universe
the way you...
is universe organized?
I mean, there seems to be laws, like laws of
There is
physics.
a law.
Yeah.
Okay, there is a law. The
Yeah.
fact that if I drop my phone, it go down, doesn't go up,
Yes.
there is a law. The
Yes.
fact that, again, I want to show the science of your creator within you. The
Yes.
fact that you have all eyes here, no eyes
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
You're organized. The fact that you have, hear me out.
But you keep jumping from
I'm not-
evolution to laws of
no,
physics.
Okay,
Evolution, you're on really weak. Sorry, you gotta listen.
But you never finished my point.
But you have made your point.
I haven't finished it.
No, you have. You really
Are
have.
you telling me? Listen, you want to talk about evolution? Define scientific method.
You mean I wouldn't be able to do it off the top of
So
my
let
head.
us see if evolution is scientifically proven or it's just a sheep following it.
Right.
Scientific method, collection of data,
Yeah.
based upon observation,
Yeah.
through experimentation, repeatable, then you come to a conclusion. Can you give me observable example
Yeah.
that when you see one kind move into completely different kind?
I mean, there's a thing called the long-term evolution experiment, and they just do it with kind of E. coli, that's very simple bacteria, but the bacteria over a long time,
Evolved to
without
what?
anyone touching them as far as we can see, change to
To
like
what?
a
To what?
different kind.
So different kind of bacteria.
Yeah.
So bacteria evolved to another bacteria.
Yeah.
Sir, that's not Darwinian evolution.
All right. See, well, it is really. It is.
Darwinian evolution, when one kind completely evolved to different kind. As for one kind, this is called adaptation. That is not evolution. Yes.
I don't really.
That is
agree
not Darwin
with you.
evolution. That's why. Hear me out. That's
Okay.
why Richard Dawkins, when he got stuck concerning this issue, that you atheists, militant atheists,
Yeah.
claiming that Darwinian evolution is scientifically proven, when we put the scientific method implemented on this Darwin evolution, doesn't go past. So what he said no, you need a long time
Yeah.
in order for you to observe Darwin
Yeah.
evolution. In other words, we're just lying to you. Just when you're going to die, ask your son. Your son has to advise his son, and none of us will see it.
There's lots of examples where you can't actually do an experiment to prove something, like seismology. You know, that's earthquakes.
Okay,
I'm
talking about evolution, because you
have to listen.
now you want to
no,
choose.
no, you have to listen.
I will listen.
Hey,
Go ahead.
like, we can't make an earthquake. No one can do an experiment and make an earthquake. But that doesn't mean that the science of earthquakes is called seismology.
Bro, someone's
Isn't-
Go on, sorry.
Okay.
You can smell it, yeah?
I can't.
Okay.
Yeah, just because we can't do an experiment to create an earthquake doesn't mean that it's not science. You can test the principles, and then you can look at the real life data. So
Yeah, but-
we can test the principles of evolution.
That is not
You know,
science, though.
Wait, that is science. What you do is you look, do things. You can do little experiments to show that DNA mutates by itself. You can do an experiment to show that. And then you can look at all the data, you can look at all the fossil record, all
Again,
the
fossil
animals.
record, there's a lot of lies, a lot of deceptions in it. I would tell you, look, I would advise you with something, but promise me you will look into it.
Okay, I've
There is a
come here
website.
lot, so
There is a
okay.
website called aboutatheism.net.
Yeah. Okay,
This one of our teachers, Abu Iyad,
yeah,
is mashallah very well versed in this subject. He has written
yeah.
many articles concerning the issue of Darwinian evolution. So I would advise you, if you have a pen or something, write it down for you.
Yeah, I can remember atheism.net.
No, aboutatheism.net. Aboutatheism.net. Check it.
Okay.
Well, I believe there is a lot of lies from the scientists, not everyone scientists,
Yes.
militant scientists. The fact that you cannot give me an example when you observe one kind evolve into different kind, rather you give me an example of one of the professors in America who, when he was asked the same question, he said, yes, there's a bacteria, you give it a long time, then evolve to different kind. But when he was asked, did they develop to different bacteria? He said, yes, that is not evolution, Darwinian evolution. Okay?
Oh,
So anyway, because
okay, yeah, no,
And
no,
you go-
I'm probably the wrong person to talk to for you, but okay.
no, I'm not, but I will tell you, think about it. Look,
I mean, I will, but
Look.
would you think about even evolution maybe being true?
No, it's not, because it cannot be observed. It cannot be proven. Anyway, I will tell you something. Look, when you observe everything, yeah? Oh, sorry, I was going to say this, yeah? Historically, it's known that what is known in the people's hearts, rooted, that in order for something to come into existence, has to have a cause or a creator. That's why, no, let me hear me out. Hear me out. That's why the question I begin my conversation with is, can you give me an example which all human beings agreed with that we can observe came without a creator? For example, the phone must have a creator. Your shirt must have a creator. The microphone must have a creator. So what is one known?
Who created the mountain?
Who created the mountain?
Yeah.
The creator. Yeah. But hear me out.
You
No,
know
hear me out.
that, yeah.
So what is? You have to prove to me how this world program, organized creation, come without a creator.
Okay.
Because you are going against what is known by necessity, which is what is known by necessity. If something is created, designed, must have what? Creator.
Okay, it's obvious to you, it's not obvious to
Okay,
me,
it's not
but
obvious
we
to you.
won't argue.
It's okay.
Okay,
It's a
take
pleasure
care,
to
man.
meet you.
You too.
That is clear. The first part is clear about killing innocent people in Islam.
Yes, you did.
The right thing, yeah?
Okay, thank you.
Take care. Did you see, just for the record, the record is that always it's a Shamsi against the Muslims, yeah? I'm debating a non-Muslim here, okay? The brother just told me this guy go live media. This guy, him and his crew, they fell in love with me, always talking Shamsi. Every video, Shamsi. The video has nothing to do with Shamsi. Now become business online to put Shamsi's name to get more views, okay? But I give us sincerity. So I'm debating non-Muslims. He's coming here, disturbing, subhanallah, and he's exposed the lies out there. And alhamdulillah, because Shamsi comes here with Quran and Sunnah and the Salaf, and I expose the lies. Muslims are the non-Muslims. Muhammad, I came down for you, my brother. Assalamu alaikum. What do you say? No, he's a liar. He's a liar. Anyway, you're here. Brother, you're recording, yeah? Yeah. What I was going to say, I came down specifically for Bob the Liar. He's gone, yeah, the brother told me. Yeah, assalamu alaikum. How are you, man?
I wish you
Yeah?
came early.
I'll speak to you.
I wish you came early.
Anyway, listen to this. His argument was, Bob, there's a response to Bob. Bob, I think, is too intelligent. And out of respect, Christian missionaries do not use your intellect. Because your intellect will prevent you to use it. Why? Because you believe 1 plus 1 plus 1 is equal what? 1 to the Christians. And I've already told them they have to tell me which school they've been to. Because we have to inform the government to shut it down. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is equal what? 3. 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 3, not 1. Anyway, so his argument was, all Muslims are hypocrites. You keep asking us, where does it say in the Bible, Trinity? So when we ask the same questions, where does it say in the Quran, the 5 pillars of Islam, you have no answer. No, we have answer. However, the brother who is speaking to, Sulaiman al-Khariji, deviant person, I will advise him to study, to learn his deen, instead of making takfir. Okay? Anyway, we as a Muslims, when we ask this question, we are saying the Bible is not equivalent to the Quran, because the Bible consists speech of the Father, which we call God, and Jesus, and the disciples, and who? The gospel writers. So if you are just, you should ask us where in the Quran and the Sunnah and the Salaf, the companion said it. So he has a point if our question was only where does it say, or where the Father said explicitly the Trinity. But we're asking you, give us from these 4 authorities for the sake of argument. These 4 authorities says the Trinity explicitly. They don't have it. In the Quran, it speaks about the 5 pillars of Islam. Allah said, believe in Allah and His Prophet Muhammad. Allah said, aqimu salata wa atu zakat. Establish the prayer, give zakat. Allah said, kutiba alaykum siyam. Siyam, fasting, is compulsory upon you. Allah said, وَلِلَّهِ عَلَى النَّاسِ حِجُّ الْبَيْتِ مَنِ اسْتَطَعَ إِلَيْهِ سَبِيلًا. That is compulsory upon the believers to go to Hajj. 5 pillars of Islam, clearly. But we don't play that game. Even if it is not in the Quran, Sunnah is enough for us. Why? Allah said it clearly, explicitly. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَطِيعُوا اللَّهَ وَأَطِيعُوا الرَّسُولَ. Oh, you believe, obey Allah, obey the Messenger. Allah said explicitly, وَإِن تَنَازَعْتُمْ فِي شَيْءٍ فَرُدُّوهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَالرَّسُولِ. If you differ in anything, refer it to Allah. What does it mean? Quran. Refer it to Prophet Muhammad. What does it mean? Sunnah. It's so clear. Allah said in the Quran clearly that Prophet Muhammad came to teach us what? Al-Kitab wal-Hikmah. The book and wisdom. What is wisdom? Qatada, Hassan al-Basri. These are the earliest scholars from the Salaf said, Al-Hikmah means Sunnah. Imam Shafi'i said it after. So is it clear? And likewise, Allah said for the companions. Prophet Muhammad names his companions. However, in the Bible, Jesus never said follow Paul. Jesus never knew about Mark. Jesus never knew about John. Jesus never knew about Mark. Jesus never knew about Matthew. I mentioned Paul as well. Point here is, Christians are making a big bid'ah, big innovation, which is they are carrying a book which Jesus himself never carried. They are teaching from a book which Jesus never himself teach from it. So are you not suffice with Jesus' teaching to add the teaching of Paul and Mark and Luke and Matthew and John? Okay, so I came here specifically to expose him because his argument is very weak. However, his argument will be stronger if he said that, if the Muslim said to him, give us one proof from the Father explicitly, which we call God, yes. He will say, okay, show me only from the Quran. Because the Father is God's speech. The Quran is God's speech. The Sunnah is Prophet Muhammad's speech. And you know it's beautiful about Islam. To show you as the Muslims, we were from the day one, we were very cautious to preserve the speech of Allah. That in the Quran, we don't mix no one's speech with the speech of Allah. But the Bible, the speech of the Father, which we call God, the speech of Jesus, Matthew, Mark, everyone's speech there. As one scholar has mentioned, may Allah have mercy upon him, Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, in his Kitab al-Jawab al-Sahih, when he was refuting the Christians, he said the Bible, if you want to compare the Bible with any book of Islamic books, we should compare it with the books of history, like Ibn Jarir al-Tabari. Ibn Jarir al-Tabari consists the speech of Allah, speech of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, speech of the Salaf, and the speech of the scholars. Okay, so that is, again, I would advise those Christians out there who are watching this video, if you want to learn about Islam, don't learn from the anti-Islamic website. Go to this website, about atheism.net, likewise Jesus one. I always forget the word. No, Jesus, www.jesus.ws. Something like that. Anyway, put the name, description box on our channel, DUS Da'wah. Naam. May Allah bless you all and may Allah guide the non-Muslims to Islam. Assalamu alaikum.
I will have this, whatever X, Y, and Z, but then because I've had this when I bought
Come take over everything. From now to
Come, man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
Because he said we
Listen.
know him. Who's he? We know the guy.
I don't even listen to Sky YG. I just listen to COE.
We know him.
I don't listen to BBC.
That's not my cameraman.
I don't even listen
But you are here to preach.
to COE.
Want to cover everything, yeah.